Hello, my fellow brothers and sisters. It has been a good while since I made a YouTube video. I just recently made an IGTV video. If you don't have my Instagram account, you can feel free to message me. I think you can direct message on YouTube. I'm not really sure, but I would be glad to give you my Instagram account so that you'll be able to access my info videos, more accessibly. I don't know what word to use. So, yeah. I don't know what it is about tonight, but I really had a strong feeling to go ahead and get started on the topic, discussing the topic of transmuting, negative thoughts that may come up. And what I mean by transmuting, I don't know if the music's too loud, but what I mean by transmuting negative thoughts is simply being in the act of not reacting at all. It's completely the opposite of what we are taught to be. See, today, I kind of had a rough morning, and it's nothing personal. I come to realize that. I'll get onto the topic a little bit after I explain this, the first initial part. But with having this rough morning, it made me reflect and think, like, damn, is this how far I've come on my spiritual path to not react? I'm allowed to feel emotions as they come through, but to react out of scarcity, out of pride, is no longer something I do anymore. And it's just crazy because it's like, I'll get back to it in a little bit, but it's crazy because I literally was having these negative thoughts consume me. Just consuming. It was just like drowning me, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. So instead of doing an epic kind of a scapegoat technique of just ignoring it and, covering it up maybe with some weed or some alcohol like I used to do, I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna take time to listen to what I feel, to feel what I feel, to listen to what my mind wants to think. And I went out, I rode my bike around for a little bit, and I know this sounds a little childish, but I really don't care how it comes off. I went to go swing on a swing. I haven't done that since I was a fucking kid, and I remember this one time not too long ago, my nephews wanted me to swing on the swing with them, but I was just kind of like, because I had this kind of ideal that I'm their aunt, I'm not supposed to, be childish with them, even though that was a stupid mindset that I was in. Nevertheless, I kind of realized that not taking life so seriously and being so reactive has further fueled my path, But anyway, so I got to thinking about everything and reflecting, and I was listening to a whole bunch of Alan Watts philosophy lectures. Oh my god, I can't even talk. And it was amazing to know that the first video that I even clicked on to listen to was exactly what I was going through. How I'm starting to see how everyone's not on the same page. How we're all just different perspectives going at each other. Just boom, boom, boom. It's this constant power struggle, And it's too funny, right? When I said power struggle, I saw 444 on my video. So maybe that's something I need to be made aware of. I don't know, maybe my guides are telling me something. So like I said, there's this power struggle of being right to being this and being that and being that. And he goes on talking about how we lack our humility because we're taught from a very, very, very young age that the more we react, the more we act out, the more we complain, the more we find validation through others, the more normal that seems. And I don't know about you, but it's not normal to react to everything. As much as our physical world likes to make us believe that that's okay, that's not, you know. And I'm starting to realize that now. And I know it's scary, but change isn't a bad thing. It really isn't. And sometimes, you know, I don't really question it, but I do wonder why I was brought here. And it's slowly starting to come back together now. It's starting to come back to me, and it's starting to make sense because I feel like I was brought here for a reason, for manifesting change. And it's scary, I understand. And I don't understand how being on the spiritual path, this is something that still perplexes me, how being on the spiritual path can become so isolating, you know? And I don't know if any of you who are watching this ever felt that way. How, you know, your individual perspective, your individual thought can really just isolate you from others. And it's not lonely. You just really do wish to find those rare gems through it all. Because honestly, throughout life, you're going to have people who disguise themselves and say that they want the change, that they want to pursue this because they feel it's their purpose, and it just ends up crumbling, you know? Not because you were expecting anything, but because it was just like wolves in sheep clothing. Words disguised as wolves in sheep's clothing. And eventually the wolf comes out, you know? And that's kind of with family dynamics. That's kind of what happened this morning. And I love my family very much, but I'm in pain. I know I am. Because I'm trying to step out of this mold that I was taught from a very young age. And I don't want to carry my childhood traumas up here into adulthood. I don't want to carry that on. And let alone, I don't want my nephews to go through that either. You know? Because we all deal with certain demons, right? Sorry, I have a cut on my hand, so I'm trying not to mess with it. We all carry certain things that we aren't proud of, and it's hard for us to show certain things to our loved ones, and it comes off as projecting. And it's insane because let alone 5 years ago, maybe I wouldn't even be talking like this. But after doing the research and taking time to really understand everything, it's really becoming a whole lot clearer now that in order to fully understand everybody else, you have to be able to see the duality of it, that there's a reason why and there's a reason how. There's a reason why it happened in the way they are, and there's a reason how to fix it or how to live through it, you know, or how to transmute it. So what I'm doing is I'm not testing the waters, but I'm trying to see how comfortable is, not for the sake of everybody else's ego, but how comfortable would everybody else be with my perspective of change. I'm not trying to come off as a brat. I'm not trying to come off as a know-it-all. I'm not trying to come off as some sort of guru. I'm just wanting to get out of that mold, to get out of the generational curses, the generational patterns, and I don't know, it just, I guess the more the negative thoughts come flowing in, I have to keep reminding myself to push out of that, to look out of that box. Because really, when you think about it, all negative thinking is a box. It's all confinement. It's all confinement. One little box. You don't grow in a box. I mean, it's isolated, and it's an isolated way of thinking, and it's not expansive. And manifesting something never comes in confinement. And you exist expansively. You don't exist in confinement. So next time you are having some thoughts that are super negative, super opposite of what goals you're working towards, remind yourself of your potential. And remind yourself of the universe, of how expansive it is. Go outside and look at the fucking stars, and see how little and how minuscule our 3D problems are. No matter what arguments you may have, remind your loved ones that you love them, that you still will carry love in your heart regardless of any disagreements. Just because I disagree with you does not mean I hate you. And just because, I'm upset doesn't mean I'll ever resort to violence out of respect. Doesn't mean I'll ever resort to threats out of respect. You transmute the negativity and you spread positivity. And you live willfully, hopefully, knowing or being at peace that others will understand eventually. Because we're all on our own timing after all. So that concludes this video. I really want to thank you for watching, and I really hope that all of you are doing very well. What else? Stay expansive, stay loving, and most of all, love yourself.